whole theory as to how reality is so much dependent on observation, and the whole, like, if you put a cat in a box and gassed the cat, or, there's a 50-50%, I don't remember exactly what it was, but you put a cat in a box and there's a 50-50% chance that the cat would get gassed. The cat is neither alive nor dead until somebody checks on it, at which point observation confirms whether or not the cat is alive or dead.
It's like the tree falls in the forest.
Yes, but you know what? The cat knows if it's alive or not. And it seems to pretend that the cat has no perspective as well.
When did you ever have a cat tell you?
It might not know if it's dead.
Huh?
It might not know if it's dead.
It may not know if it's dead, but I mean, it knows it's alive. The cat's bloody well knowing whether or not it's getting gassed. And for some reason, it never occurred to him that the cat would also have a point of view.
Actually, sometimes people don't.
Huh?
People can get like carbon monoxide or whatever. They never.
Yeah,
never
but
know.
I mean, either you're making the observation or you aren't. Either if reality is based on observation,
we
then
seem
the
to be
cat's
moving from
observation-
Schrodinger into Heisenberg here.
Yeah. I mean, saying that, if observations affect reality, then the cat's observation is having an effect on reality as well.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's actually has been somewhat verified that animals can, in fact, have a impact on reality and their perceptions.
Really? Animals?
Animals, yeah.
Well,
we were talking about Schrodinger's cat, but I remember somebody told me about a study years ago.
That's a dumb idea.
Huh?
Schrodinger.
Yeah, I gotta
Totally
say,
idiotic.
the cat thing, he could have come up with a better analogy. Because I reject it out of hand simply because he used as a cat as opposed to, something else. But I remember
Like
hearing
what?
about another study,
Instead of what? A dog?
or, an inanimate object.
But the
that
inanimate
matter.
object wouldn't know whether it was alive or dead.
No, it
Exactly.
wouldn't.
Which is
And-
why,
and-
I could buy the argument
For
that
the rock
maybe the
instead of a
inanimate
cat.
object, like a rock broken in half, is neither whole nor in half until somebody makes the observation to tell, at which point it comes into play.
But would the rock know?
Exactly, which is why it would be in a state of potential limbo until
Rocks are
somebody
smarter
else
than you
is.
think they are.
A
Rocks
rock
might be
smart.
smarter than some people we encountered, but I personally don't think a
Our
rock has a point of
president
view.
is
Might have
dumber,
been smarter
dumber
than
than
this
a
guy.
rock.
Yeah. Well,
This Hollinger.
yeah, I remember hearing about a study many years
About a
ago
smart
in which an automated robot with a little light on it that rolls around just in random patterns was put in a containment with a bunch of little chickens.
And was smarter than our president.
Well, it wasn't, probably, but it was a matter of these little chickens were otherwise kept in total darkness. The only light they got was the robot. And somehow, every time this thing was supposed to keep a random pattern.
Yeah.
And its pattern was slightly less random when it was put in there with the chickens, in that it spent more time in the proximity of the chickens, and it was their only source of light. So somehow the theory being that perhaps, like the little baby chicks, their perception collectively influenced the randomness of the robot enough to actually show up in the statistics.
What if they followed it around?
Well, apparently it was more like it gravitated towards them. Like they were all like basically, clustered in a corner, and it just came to them.
And they-
How is
And
a
it
chicken
would
the
have.
only source of light?
And they
No,
said
it was a robot was the only source of light, and it was in with a bunch of chickens, little baby chickens.
that's the kind of experiment I
I think it's
like.
the act of observing. I mean, with Heisenberg, it's like the only way you can observe something, like an electron, is to bounce a photon off it. Well, the photon doesn't come from the observer. The photon comes from the photon source.
Yes.
So your eye, the eye of an animal or a person, isn't the photon source. It's the observer. It's where the photon goes to,
Are you,
not where it
are you
comes
sure
from.
of that?
If you could emanate
Yeah,
photons
you don't
from
have
your
to-
eyes,
yeah,
that would be a
the
great party
photons are
trick.
I mean, they reflect sometimes, like if I shine a flashlight on my guy. They can reflect them, but no,
Yeah.
they don't produce.
Did you
photons.
get to play a song?
No, I didn't get to play a song.
Oh,
But it's the act of bouncing a photon off it that changes it.
yeah, you just need something else to generate photons.
We're having a fruitful discussion here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not observing it that changes it. It's bouncing
Behold.
a photon.
Photons!
Fruitful. We'll hold it up right to the camera. Put it right in the camera. You shine your photon.
Sure, it's safe to
What about a less than
point this right in the camera?
Yes.
What about a less than sentient animate object?
Okay,
such as
there
a
we
fly?
go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
okay. I wouldn't do this with a
Less than
laser pointer, but this is just an LED thing. So photons.
A less than sentient.
animate object,
Animate object.
such
Like
as a fly.
why is a fly less than sentient?
Less
I would say it's not
Less
sentient.
sentient.
Yeah, okay, but I would say even then it would have a certain degree of perception.
But
and
you
point
wouldn't
of
care
view.
about the cat so much anymore, because the fly would be what you'd be examining.
But you know, yeah, well, I
A
suppose.
lot of people examine
Yeah, well,
their
you can
flies
go
from
down
time
the
to time.
evolutionary ladder.
Well, maybe a
sure.
less.
I'd feel better. I
sentient-
would feel better about if you were gonna like throw something into a box and gas it as part of an experiment. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'd be upset about doing that to a cat. I'd be okay about doing that to a fly. So, I like cats, and I'm.
But does it change?
Not
Is the fly
hugely.
not dead until you see that it's dead? No, I think if the fly is already dead.
Yeah.
Before you see
Yeah.
that it's dead. Even a blue-green algae,
Heisenberg might have slept here.
even a mushroom is dead without seeing it's dead. If it's
Could I get you to? Yeah, go ahead. Do what you're getting ready to do. No,
What did
do
you want?
that. Yes,
Pea.
yes, you were going to have some of that, and
Yes.
and it's all ready. I was going to ask, can you make some be in there? There we go. Now we are.
There was a
happening.
eugenic thing about sort of intelligence. It's
There
like
we
there
go.
can't be too much of something. Something can't be overpopulated if it's intelligent.
Yes, everyone start having tea from
And it's
the
like-
I disagree.
And it's like what is it? What is it? Underpopulated orchids. Orchids don't have brains, and there aren't enough orchids. So I mean, how could the
How do you know there aren't enough orchids?
Well, because people don't know. People tell me there aren't enough orchids. Or
Because
certain
they-
kinds of orchids.
You're believing a
People.
possibly popular misconception then.
Well, you know what? Orchids are pretty, and they don't cause any harm, so I'm fine with more orchids in the world.
What is this? There are not enough orchids for what?
Well, they say there
Talk
must
to
be too
anyone
many
that's
of
had
them.
an
If they're not
orchidectomy, they'll
smart,
tell
there
you
must
there
be
aren't
too many
enough.
of them because it's not eugenic to breed things that aren't smart. So you shouldn't breed orchids because they don't have brains.
But they are pretty, and they don't cause any harm.
Yeah, doesn't pretty count?
I don't think so.
How do you know that their intelligence
No, it's
doesn't
biodiversity.
express itself
It's biodiversity that
in
counts.
beauty? Are you ready to knock one out here for us?
I could knock one out for
All right,
you.
knock one out here for us.
Can't be any dumber than the current conversation.
You got that. That's good.
This is a
This
sort of
remains to be
dialogue
seen.
song, so the first part of the verse is by the husband and second part by the wife, and you'll get the idea sooner or later. It's a little bloody, but oh well.
I knew it.
Oh, Susan B., don't bother waiting up for me. I'm going out with the boys for a little fun. Lock all the doors before you do your chores. Don't let any strangers in and get the dishes done. Sorry, darling Charlie, but I've got a date to keep. The other girls are waiting, I can hear their car horns beep. When you read tomorrow's paper, dear, don't let it shake your sleep that they found some rapist slaughtered in the morning. Oh, Susan B., come fetch my coat for me. Don't you ever dress nice at home? You look dumb in black. Those boots and beat-up jeans make you look like a damn Marine. Be sure that the floors are clean when I come back. Yes, my darling Charlie, I'll be cleaning up all right. The girls and I are going out to sweep the streets tonight. And no one ever sees us, dear, except for one last sight. And they'll find the rapist slaughtered in the morning. Oh, Susan B., now try to listen well to me. Sure, the crime statistics down, but take no chance. Stay locked up safe at home. It's dangerous for girls to roam outside of your own front door, even in those pants. No, my darling Charlie, I will only stand and wait. Some other girl will wear the skirts and look like Hefner's date. And heaven help the horny pimp who comes to take the bait, for they'll find the rapist slaughtered in the morning. Oh, Susan B., have some beer in the fridge for me. Are you putting on weight again? Your arms look thick. If all that exercise did nothing, I'm not surprised. When will you get tired of that fitness kick? Never, darling Charlie, for this is not flab but meat. 6 months of heavy training now and 3 months on the street. And after years of running, yes, revenge is very sweet. And they'll find the rapist slaughtered in the morning. Oh, Susan B., fix the zipper on the pants for me. Do something with your face and hair. You look so plain. When I go out on the street, all the girls there look so sweet. And then I have to come home to you. It's a real pain. Never, darling Charlie, do you hear one word I say? And well, I know the kind of games you play when you're away. It wouldn't much surprise me if you don't come home by day, and I find that I'm a widow in the morning.
So, a complete, total, utter clod is completely clueless about the fact that his wife is a vigilante who may, in fact, have him next on the list.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
That was written by the great Leslie
You
Fish.
should, do you need to? I need to let you in. You can
Yes.
get in. Okay.
I
You
didn't,
need, you need to.
What
come.
is...
I didn't follow it closely enough to know.
You need
that
to
it was
check
gonna
out
begin
some of
with
the
it.
Hum?
fruits
Didn't
of
follow
your,
it
of your labor.
closely enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should read the lyrics upside down as you're singing. I can do that if I'm close enough. I could do it from there. I'm not sure. I did
Well,
it
it
last time.
was insinuated with the last few lines that he may be like either A, next on her list,
He
or
is-
B, the complete total reason why she's been getting herself
In
all
shape.
trained up and in shape and everything for the past 6 months.
Well, definitely part of the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely clueless on a number of issues.
We have over here. We have black currant.
Well, the whole wearing black thing, I'm sort of picturing his wife starts training as training herself as, some crime-fighting superhero type thing or something like that, and after 6 months into it, it's like, you're cramping my style. You're next.
Well, are we to assume that he too may be a rapist?
Yeah, that's what I.
Well,
the
he
part I
was
don't get
going
about
out
it.
on the town picking up girls. Whether they considered that rape or not is up to apparently the feminist group that she was hanging with.
That's
Well,
in there.
you know-
That's in there somewhere. The broad definition of rape.
The T in the Martha Stewart hydrangea pattern is.
I think it's safe to say that a mutual pickup certainly does not count as rape. It's certainly, like being married and running around and
See
trying to
red.
pick up women, whether
See
consensual
red
or not,
dot.
isn't a very dishonorable
It's the
thing to
red
do.
dot that's next
But
to-
Right. Well, I'm somewhat,
Yeah,
being
that's
from
fine.
Northampton, I'm somewhat familiar with the counter argument, but I don't really want to go into it.
with a,
Well,
Counter what?
there is one prominent
With the
feminist.
counter argument, the radical feminist counter argument, basically saying that all sex is rape because a woman.
All
would never do that.
heterosexual sex is rape. Yes.
Because a woman would never do that if she wasn't.
That is
ordered to
not
do
my
it by-
belief. That
by
is someone
economic-
else's
by
stated
economic
belief.
draft or something like that.
all heterosexual sex is rape.
That has been stated by prominent feminists.
There,
And I
there
think
was
that's
in the.
And I find that completely absurd, especially considering the early days of my relationship in which I was the one getting thrown down on the bed. But
Oh yeah. Oh, in your current relationship, did you say?
yes,
All right, we have currents right here.
yes.
Um,
Of course, I'm nearly 10 years into
I'm not
it,
in any
and,
relationship with currents right now.
I think it was mostly in the '80s it reached its peak.
Don't you love
The-
that?
The kind of
Don't
radical
you
feminist
don't
that
you love
said
a
that-
woman that will throw you down on the bed and just savagely have at you?
I wouldn't know.
Hey,
Yes.
come in.
John Robinson!
Yes. Hey,
And then we can ask you that same question
okay.
that I just asked Matt here. Don't you love a woman that will savagely throw you down on a bed and savagely have at you?
I weigh over 300 pounds.
Uh-huh.
Any woman who can do that to me, well, quite frankly, that scares me just a bit.
Just a bit?
Just a bit.
Why?
What if you were really
You-
tired?
Why, you wimp.
Even really tired, even as a dead weight, that's even worse. You can't throw me.
I would
You could roll me onto a bed.
Okay, roll you onto
I've
bed.
seen some of the commercials for the upcoming American Gladiators show. Some of the women on that.
Okay, well, there's something.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know what I have done. I do not know what I have done with.
You have a stacked chair, John.
I know.
Yes.
Mr.
I don't know
Murray,
what
how
I've
are you?
done.
Good.
Well,
I was really tired at the end of my wedding
in
day.
here.
I have a gift for you.
My wedding day wore me
Blackwell?
out. I remember that.
Well, that's the pleasure saucer one. But Dr. Blackwell,
Yes?
I have a gift for you.
oh, thank you. I have lost the pleasure saucer
Spot?
ad. Yeah. Oh, I've just there's about 3 places I can look for it. I may find it, but
Okay.
I've been very discombobulated and disoriented because I went out of town for Christmas and everything, you know. And but what I need to find out. Oh, well, thank you.
many of
Thank
those
you
you
so
got?
much.
Like 15?
Everyone gets one of
Tomorrow
them.
I was gonna hit
course.
Harvest Records, Westville Pub, and AB Tech.
Okay.
Because I've got the very limited run of shiny, glossy Mount Dungeon flyers. I'm going to put some up. If you want to hand me a few, I'll
Now, do you
The
still
pleasure
have some of
saucer
these in
might be
there
those
or not?
No, that's my entire stack.
Okay. Well, here, give one of those to him too.
Yeah, these are the pleasure saucer
Uh-huh.
flyers. That I
Right on. And what I was going to say is that I need to find out from the powers that be around here
Right?
if I can add if I can run that pleasure saucer.
You should be able to.
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Because you're just helping promote somebody else's show, and it's
Uh-huh.
one person in your TV helping promote another person. In
Yeah,
your
but I
TV.
mean, is it? Although it's a
it is legal.
the
bloody hell! I'm going to go ask somebody right now.
okay. Go find out right now if but they'll need to have seen the spot to see if it's okay to run it.
Is
No.
it the spot I'm thinking of?
No, I mean like everything else on your TV.
Is it the spot he's thinking
Yes,
of?
but I think well, like everything else on A, they don't need to see it because this is complaint driven,
Okay.
and B, while this may get people complaining, they would be complaining about MTV at the same time period. As
Oh
well.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you want to? I mean, let us consider about the same time slot is when things like Maury Povich come on, and I mean, you want to talk about sleaze.
Yeah, visually.
No, I don't.
Visually
I
and
do.
orally, that is not going to get you in any trouble with any of the restrictions.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
make sure of that.
All right, then as soon as I find it or get another one from you, whichever way it goes,
Okay.
then I'm going to edit it into the 420 roll,
So
and it will
do
become
I
part of that.
Need to ask like, do
No,
I need to
no,
ask
no.
any
Sit,
questions?
sit, sit.
Okay.
Okay.
sitting.
Okay. All right.
I would not give you a
Okay.
painted CD like that.
Well, anyway, that I was, like I say, I'm very discombobulated,
I know.
just generally speaking.
It's all good. It's all good.
And so then so I put everything concerning the Tea Party on hold, and I went out of town to visit my relatives for the holidays.
And how was that?
Tolerable. And I came back and have been trying, to get myself back into the Tea Party mode in a panic. For instance, just 5 minutes before showtime or something like that, I thought that I had come away from the house and not brought the hot plate and the extension cord with me, which would have slowed the party down some.
Slightly.
Yeah. However, I discovered that I had left those items here, fortunately.
The only other option would have been to just, hold the tea thing and just hold a cigarette lighter underneath it for a long time.
You bring the thumb before you
Very
hit
long
the key.
time. Yes.
Not an option. Not an option in our world. I don't know if you would be interested in
Need 3 or
these.
4.
Do they look like something interesting to you?
So how was your
Look interesting.
holiday?
You want me
Oh,
to break
oh.
it open, huh?
Haven't seen you in
Pass these to. Have y'all had these? Have you had one of these?
I haven't had one of those.
We'll have that. And
Is there one
and,
left?
There's
There is
one
one
and you see, there's a cup there by
yes.
there, and which I believe is clean, and there's a spoon
Yeah,
right
that's
beside it. Oh look, no, add some preserves. Give them some raspberry or some occurrence here to put on it. There's
spoon right there.
let me see there. Are we all out of muffins?
No, there are more. I can prepare more. Okay.
Yeah. See.
Well, I would like to announce that my holiday itself was fairly nice. I went to Connecticut. Christmas was fine. New Year's I deliberately stayed in and it was boring. And by going to Connecticut for Christmas, I got to visit my dad, who I hadn't seen in quite some time.
Oh, you burned petroleum for Christmas.
Yes, I did
technically
too.
the airline did, and they were going that way whether I was getting a ticket or not. So, but
yeah,
yes,
rationalize it. Go ahead.
But yes, petroleum was burned for Christmas. And not only did I burn petroleum for Christmas, but as a guilty pleasure, I really want one of those new muscle cars. Like a new Mustang or a new Camaro. And I know that makes me a bad liberal, but I'm already a
I
bad
didn't
liberal.
know they had
so,
cars that ran on muscle.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Well, actually, if it has a really
Radiates.
high gear, if you get one with a really high gear, like a highway cruising gear,
How do you
then you
think?
can get it. It may not
Like
be all
once
that
it
bad
gets-
on the highway.
Yeah.
You'll never be any good in the city, but on the
I thought they
highway,
were all internal
If
once you
combustion
start-
buses,
Oh
muscle.
no! The
Yeah.
muscle
You can
car.
cruise,
That
yeah.
was didn't you see Idaho Connection? The movie
it's all
Idaho
about the
Connection.
Mexican
No?
overdrive.
Oh, that's how we'll use our children as fuel
God.
Ah,
in the future. Yes,
There's
so,
a
sort of like you get baby oil by squeezing babies.
you have to squeeze them really hard, but yeah.
there's a horror movie that was at the Asheville Rejects Film
I didn't go
Festival
quite that
called
far.
Blood Car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It ran on blood. I'll bet.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say there was a movie called Baby Oil.
Not yet. No.
Give it a few years.
All right.
The downside is the mood of my holiday was somewhat thrown off, in that the day before I left for Connecticut, about 9:30 p.m., turning onto 240 on Haywood Road, I struck a pedestrian with my vehicle.
Oh no!
Yes.
Did it hurt
maybe
your
we
car?
should get
Was your
about-
car injured?
My car is completely unfazed by the process.
Okay, good.
She was not.
Oh really? Where did you do this?
Turning onto 240, going east on Haywood Road in West Asheville. About 2 weeks, little over 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Okay. Someone was crossing the street.
Yes.
And
And
you
I
went-
was thinking of everything I still have to do in the next 12 hours before I catch my plane.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't paying attention, and she probably did not look as she was crossing either. Two
Right.
people not paying attention, and boom.
Right. Well, she has the right of way.
Yes.
I hope you've enjoyed driving.
Yes.
And
Well, you know what? Really,
if you're
it
not
wasn't.
paying attention, you are paying insurance.
I am paying insurance. And I called the emergency room about an hour later. They had already released her.
Yes.
And I don't know, so apparently she must not have been that badly injured.
Yes.
And I just looked at the accident report, and
Uh-huh.
they rate, they rate it, the injuries received on a 1 to 5. 1 being really not that bad, 5 being dead, and she
Uh-huh.
was a 1, so I must not have broken anything or something like that, which I feel good about, because
Uh-huh.
I'm not comfortable about the idea of having injured somebody so badly they're going to feel it for the rest of their lives.
I wasn't on my driving game today either. He knows.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
But,
kept going, no,
um,
that lane.
But I got a ticket. I'm going to have to pay the ticket, and my insurance is going to go up.
You could. You would be more on the screen if you moved in this direction.
Okay. As a bit of irony, though,
And this way.
a bit of...
I just know how you like to be on the
Yes,
screen.
thank you. The first responders, they were quick. Like some bystander called 911, and the first responders, they were there like that. Much credit to all of them for the speed and professional job that they did.
Uh-huh.
And then just like that, they all disappeared again. It was just me and one cop there answering questions. And
The cop was answering questions?
me there
They
answering
usually
questions.
don't
and-
answer questions.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, he actually asked what her name was, and he gave me her first name, said he never even caught her last name, so that's how I was able to call the emergency room and check
Did someone
on her.
else hear that? Beep.
I mean,
Yes, I heard it.
You did.
it was hello over here.
But the last police officer, the guy that gave me the ticket,
Yeah.
recognized me from TV.
Oh. I see.
Specifically, he's watched the Tea Party.
The Tea Party. Yes, I know. We have we have a lot of police officers that watch the Tea Party. I think that's one of their assignments.
They would have seen the
He's part of the surveillance unit, the counter intel pro.
red squad.
How's it going? Are you enjoying your Tea Party?
I actually discovered a new pleasure today, new to myself.
A new pleasure.
Yes.
Ooh. What was her name?
No doubt you'll have it on the saucer before it's over.
Well, no. This is actually rather too kinky even for me to fully enjoy without being disturbed.
That's really hard to believe.
I paid my car insurance on time. This is not something that has happened usually in the past.
Right.
Yeah, they find
and
it
you
55.
found pleasure in that.
Well, it was sort of a sick slave-like thing, like, good boy, John. It's just,
Uh-huh.
I'm at the
Sick
point
in
where
and
I'm gonna
so at the
have
same
to
time.
highly recommend that because, like, you know, something like hitting a pedestrian when
Oh,
your
yes.
insurance is lapsed.
oh yeah. So no, I fully recognize the logic and necessity of paying insurance. I fully intend to do so. It's just I haven't.
Yeah. Well, if you're even a day late, they fine you $50.
Yeah.
It's not that way.
I
And
I
they don't
actually
send the bill. They don't. My company anyway didn't send the bill until like a week before it was due. And so
me too.
you have to
But
be there. At that
today
week,
was
right?
actually the last day I could pay it before noon.
Uh-huh.
And I go to work at 8 a.m. So I had to get up at 5 a.m. just so I made sure I could drive my car to the insurance place, leave the envelope in the door because they weren't there yet, and then drive to work.
At what time?
I had to get up at 5 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You know what you want to do is pay early and
I was
get
going
them
to
to take
sleep
it.
without that.
Like my insurance company now, I pay early and they won't take it. They send it back.
You didn't pay
You
cash.
keep
Yes.
it. I don't want it to lapse.
You paid cash.
I paid cash.
And you stuck the envelope in the door.
hopefully
Well,
it went
I
through the
took
door.
the calculated risk that no one was going to be out there stealing anything because it was too darn cold.
No. First person in the door opens the
Well,
envelope.
I
Whoa,
did-
this is
Well,
cash.
no, I have to say those people at my insurance place are very honest. I called 2 hours after I did
And
that.
say, did you get the?
I
and
did.
they say, oh yes, thank you very much.
Exactly. Yes. So I felt happy.
It was about $40 short, John.
Well, now you've announced it. on
Why did you
television,
send
so
us
don't
his
do it
payment
again.
with a little piece of paper written "sucker" on it? Why did you do that? Could I have a cookie, please?
No.
Oh yeah, let's have some of these.
So are you going to be? Who's going to be joining us tonight to watch Mount Dungeon at the? brew
I
pub?
don't know if I can.
Oh,
or not.
in the outdoor ice box?
Yes.
I figured nobody. What do you think?
What is the outdoors?
Is this a trick question?
You gonna have a movie outdoors?
we have,
We have taken to
music
watching
show.
Mount Dungeon at the brew pub on Cox Avenue, Asheville Brewing.
Asheville Brewing Company.
And yes, so we put it up on the big thing out there, and there's a better crowd than where we were trying to watch it at Asheville Pizza. So,
Yeah.
yes, that's where we're going to be
Same
gathering.
company, but
Yeah,
My-
we're in fact going to be gathering around 9ish to discuss things.
What is it? It's a movie.
No,
Mount Dungeon.
Mount Dungeon.
Mount Dungeon
What
is
is Mount
Asheville's underground music television program,
Oh.
which airs at every Thursday at 11 p.m.
I thought you
tonight.
watched- I thought you-
Tonight
Oh,
at
on this
11
channel.
p.m.
I thought you watched
right here on
television.
this channel.
I don't have cable. I can't
Oh.
get this. I can only get this
Oh,
by
okay.
showing.
If
The only
you
way I
don't
can know
have
about this is
cable,
if I show
You
up.
can go to
MountDungeon.com.
Yeah, we go to www.mountdungeon.com to see all the episodes online.
Yes, and that's MOUNTDUNGEON. Many people have tried putting in MT period.
We
And that
don't
doesn't
abbreviate.
work.
We're not abbreviators.
We are not abbreviators when it comes to television. We don't abbreviate.
Yes.
I only get 2 stations.
All right.
Off and on.
Well, while
depending
we're
on whether
doing
to some
plugs,
extent.
everyone be sure to watch L&B next week. I'm going. Apparently, I got broadcast yesterday
Yeah, sorry.
because one of her other programs had messed up, and so they
Oh.
did this week too.
Oh, okay.
And so, but they're going to.
That
I was informed I am
happens
going to be shown
sometimes.
again next week.
Oh, okay.
On
That
L&B.
will occasionally happen around here.
Well, now tell me how to get. So how is the tea?
Tea is good.
Is tea?
I like it.
Everybody, you like the tea? You like
It
the
is
tea?
very tea-like.
There's
John.
more. There's more tea available, and I hear this thing
So-
whistling.
Are you going to be going
Is this
early
it?
for the
Yes,
drinking
it's-
liberally thing?
It has something in it.
No, we're going to be showing up around 9ish.
So,
What time does
Anyhow,
the
the-
really start?
so Matt, if you would hand me the small
I don't know.
teapot,
Show up a little
the
early.
little
I'm not
mini
actually
teapot.
going to.
Yes, that one. That's the
I'm not
one.
actually going to be doing any.
Thank you.
We're gonna do this.
The
Yeah.
subject of the
Might not
L&B
be
show
going
is
to-
the Asheville Homeless Network and
Oh, okay.
homelessness in Asheville.
Cool. That's a good subject to have.
I'll be having ginger ale.
This stuff is
Because
really.
I have just decided that having hit that lady has me fairly spooked, and I hadn't had anything. I had like half a glass of blueberry wine or something like that, Because a friend of mine whose house I was leaving had done, brewed up his own batch of blueberry wine. So I'm gonna try half a
I'm
glass.
gonna be out there on a scooter any day now, huh?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Which is why I've decided.
Yeah, y'all can have scooter races.
Yeah.
Which is why I've decided that I'm just not gonna drink a damn thing anymore when I go out and I'm driving.
I understand that impulse completely. Trust
Yes.
me. It's just that tonight, before Mount Dungeon, Drinking Liberally is going to be having their. They're basically going to be watching all the returns from Iowa.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to be going for that. So
That might be
there's
worth hanging
their
around
Super
for.
Bowl.
Oh, and there's that open mic.
Are they're going to be doing it there?
Yeah.
The returns. Wow, I wonder if
I
that's
haven't
going to
been for
compete
so
with Mount
long. I'm
Dungeon
not sure
because
there
the
is
returns
still
are
the
going to be.
open mic.
Oh, there was. 'Cause
Yeah, I don't know. They're going to be
last
going
time I
kind
was
of late.
here,
Like
I
their
hung
turns
around,
might
argued with them
still
a
be
little
coming
bit.
in by
Yeah,
11
okay.
o'clock.
Really?
Yeah.
But there was no audience. It was only the organizers.
Yes.
Well, that's a shame. I'm sure they would have loved to have had me show up.
Yeah, they would. In fact, you know what? I bet they drive you home. I bet they
Well-
would if I asked them, or if you asked them.
No, I'm not going there. I've attempted to arrange transportation in the past and gotten no response whatever. So
To the
to the open mic.
I'll be your
the-
agent. It's
I
always
love
better to do it
being
on behalf
there.
of somebody else.
It's a great thing.
I've decided. I still know what I'm doing, but I've decided one way or another we're going to go live on.
And Jarrett is
I
terrific.
think I have something that might spice it up a bit.
What's up?
I fixed his
I don't know
truck.
if I
He used to
wanna say
have
right
a Ford pickup, right?
I want to hear. So let's go
You
in the
don't know?
hallway and you can tell me
I
there.
fixed his Ford pickup, which he
Okay.
later sold.
Well, I can show
He
you.
said he got a Mazda now.
Is it it can't be revealed on live TV yet? Save it as a surprise sort of thing?
That, and I'm not completely done with it.
Let's see how this is. Oh, okay. I think we have enough tea.
We should.
Now, we have a little tea pot over there without a handle. We need to make a handle. As a matter of fact, I'll bet we can make a handle out of wire from the tech room in there.
I don't know.
I think you have a song picked out for us.
I
don't you?
have a song picked out.
Would you like to play it?
I just might want to play it. You never know. You know we musicians never like to put our talents out there for anyone to hear. I said that with a straight face too. Not that I meant it, but I said it with a straight face. Oh well, let's see. Okay, Hello's getting in the way of my elbow here. This is Hello Hippo. He's my cell phone hippo. Anyhow, get Hello out of the way. You can sit there and listen. Hello. Yeah, that's about the right key. We have muffins.
More muffins.
From desert cliff and mountain top, we trace the wide design. Strike, slip, fault, and overthrust, and sign and anticline. We gaze upon creation where erosion makes it known, and count the countless eons in the banding of the stone. Odd long vanished creatures and their tracks and shells are found, where truth has left its sketches on the slate below the ground. The patient stone can speak if we but listen when it talks. Humans wrote the Bible, God wrote the rocks. There are those who name the stars, who watch the sky by night, seeking out the darkest place to better see the light. Long ago, when torture broke the remnant of his will, Galileo recanted, but the earth is moving still. High above the mountain tops where only distance bars, the truth has left its footprints in the dust between the stars. We may watch and study or may shudder and deny. Humans wrote the Bible, God wrote the sky. By stem and root and branch we trace, by feather, fang, and fur, how the living things that are descend from things that were. The moss, the kelp, the zebrafish, the very mice and flies, these tiny, humble, wordless things, how shall they tell us lies? We are kin to beasts, no other answer can we bring. The truth has left its fingerprints on every living thing. Remember, should you have to choose between them in the strife, humans wrote the Bible, God wrote life. And we who listen to the stars, or walk the dusty grade, or break the very atoms down to see how they are made, or study cells or living things, seek truth with open hand, the profoundest act of worship is to try to understand. Deep in flower and in flesh, in star and soil and seed, the truth has left its living word for anyone to read. So turn and look where best you think the story is unfurled. Humans wrote the Bible, God wrote the world.
That's one of my favorite ones. I like that so much. I believe that the first time I heard that was here.
The first time I played here.
I believe it was new to me at that time and that I had not heard it before.
Gee, that does look like it'll work, John, if you get the handle the right length.
Oh, yeah, I have a plan for how to get the handle the right length.
You have a plan?
For how to get the handle the right length. Let's see. Let me ask you.
Just cut off the extra, yeah.
Would that seem to be the right length?
Depends on the clearance of the dome. That appears to be about right, John.
Would you think shorter or longer?
I would say that's about right.
All right. Okay.
Oh, let me see if I can find some saccharin in my bag over here.
All
Do you know
right.
much about the Gospel according to Mary Magdalene?
As a matter of fact, I know a little about it, having read it a couple times, but
Well, that's good enough if you read it. Having read it is good enough. Is it different from the others? Does it like disagree with the others a lot,
Well,
or is it pretty much the same story?
Let me state very plainly that the various Gospels were not written as if one document or one author. And Mary's Gospel, there are several things in the books that were written and not included in the Bible. Some of them make a good argument for not being included.
How's that?
Others of them make a good argument that some of the books that they did include should not have been included. It depends on how you read it. For instance,
like the Gospel of Thomas.
The Gospel of Thomas is very authentic, and really should be in there, and it would have made a lot of difference if it had been in there. There is
Just a little too Gnostic for a few folks.
There is a particular gospel of that basically Jesus is a baby, and there are a number of weirdnesses in that one where, for instance, how Mary was passing out his dirty diapers as healing cures for various people in the town. And at one point in that particular quote gospel end quote, Jesus playing as a boy got mad at some of his playmates and just killed one of them.
Right,
this is probably not something that they
been
wanted
trying to
in the
hush
Bible.
that up.
Not terribly sophisticated, yeah.
But I love the dirty dieties as a cure thing. Yeah,
Was she selling them or just giving them away?
just giving them away. I don't know.
Better she was
They were
selling
poor. It would. I wondered how they got by if she kept giving away his dieties. You know.
Yeah.
There. What do you think?
Because, I mean, they were made out
good.
of cloth and
Electrical tape.
it's easy to come by if you're poor.
Is
Yeah.
that good quality electrical tape?
Oh,
I
yeah.
always notice it comes
Yeah,
up
she
down. It
was
looks like it's staying put.
She's selling dirty diapers.
Yeah. Right. Say swashing them.
You're in a professional facility here.
Yeah, well, I do wire some cars, and I noticed that a lot of times the electrical tape isn't sticky enough.
Is that right? Okay. Is that not sticky enough?
I don't know. Pretty good.
Okay. Well,
Sometimes they sell super electrical tape.
yeah. Let's just sit him down for a
Stick
moment. I'm on my mic, so can you not find a place to sit?
I can't.
Sometimes when I do wiring, I'll like either glue, there'll be this tab, right, and I don't want it to come undone in 10 years,
Uh-huh.
right, this end.
Yeah.
And I'll either glue it or take a soldering iron and melt it.
Well, okay, here we go. I'm going
Here
to-
we go. We're
actually-
making Russian tea.
Yes. That's best I can figure. It's all printed in Russian. This must be Russian. I've heard of Russian tea, haven't you? Okay. But what one does not know is how much
Caffeinated?
to put in
Well,
here.
I would state that English tea is not from England.
Right.
It's packaged in England, but it's grown in
I'm
like
gonna put what I
India or
think's probably
China
too
or one
much.
of them
So
countries.
this one, yeah, looked like it had a picture of Egypt or something.
I know it. Did you notice? Now then, now I'm going to put this in.
That suggests it's Egyptian tea, doesn't it?
Now, because this isn't coming all.
It's shaped like
Oh,
a
look at
pyramid.
this. There's a stick in here.
There's a stick in there.
Yeah.
What is the stick for?
Seeing as how we can't read it. We don't
Oh,
really
I don't know. Are you having trouble with that?
I'm having trouble finding a place to put that,
Oh, we'll just sit it, push the bottles out of your way, the jars. Your telephone is sitting on the microphone.
If I had more hands, I would.
Take your hippo. Pick up your hippopotamus.
Hello, you need to move.
Okay, there.
Hello, you can sit there. Jars.
See now.
Well, I have to go because
You do.
You have to go.
I'm not sure of the reliability of my car, so I think if I leave now, it will start under its own power.
No,
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Is it an
Have no
automatic or a
clue.
stand stick?
It's automatic.
Well, then it should just automatically go, shouldn't it?
No, there's no helping it. You better go. Yeah, you can roll off a stick and we could all troop
Exactly.
out there and push you.
Exactly. That won't
Oh
work.
my! Oh, it's hot.
It's hot?
Uh-huh.
This is what happens when you add hot water to it, John.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Check it out. Look at that. There's a little ant.
If we all trooped out there, we wouldn't leave the audience.
There you go. You want to sit this up? Well, we'll sit
We
it
wouldn't
on
leave
that
the
end.
audience with
the
much
book
to look
and
at.
move these away. Okay. There we go. All right. How about it? There we go. Oh, are you coming up?